Yeah, I think it has. I mean, look, that question 2 or 3 weeks ago, if you're getting any early prices going into the first Old Firm derby, then Rangers would be very, very firm favourites. And very, very short indeed. I don't know, David, if you know too much about odds, but I guess that would be very, very short. Odds on. But I think, they've not had an unbelievable start to the season. Celtic have picked themselves up after the first loss against Hearts at the start of the season and have been unbelievable. They've had 2 6-0 wins. They're playing free-flowing football. And they will go into this game. I know we've still got Europe on Thursday night, but they will go into this game with a lot of confidence, in my opinion. But I still think at home, I still think that Rangers would be favourites.
John Hartson?
I agree with Craig. I think Rangers will start favourites. But Celtic are playing, they're playing with a swagger. They really are. As Craig said, they've won 6 out of 6. The strikers are scoring goals. And
24 goals, I think it is, in 6 games.
Yeah.
Really impressive from Celtic.
Yeah, some clean sheets in there as well. So I think Celtic, if they go at it in the right manner, I think they can cause an upset. And with the pace and the power that they have, in particular going forward, I'm still to be convinced by Starfelt, the centre half. I'm not overly convinced yet that he is the centre half, the commanding centre half to take Celtic forward in the next few years and play alongside Welsh, who's come on magnificently. So I agree slightly with Craig that Rangers will start favourites on the back of on the back of winning the title last season. It's at Ibrox. There's no away fans, by the way. It's going to be it's going to be quite an atmosphere in Rangers' favour because they'll have all the home fans. And what I think one thing I would say as well, Kyogo is his first derby, so he's going to go into it. He hasn't seen it before. He hasn't maybe not experienced it, as I said. So that's a good thing. I think sometimes when you've experienced the atmosphere, you know what you're going into. Mm-hmm. But if you're blind to it, it's just gonna be another game for him. But I think Celtic can be competitive, and of course they could win, but you would naturally make Rangers slight favourites.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're favourites, but David, I'm interested to hear your thoughts as well, because I would have been a lot more confident 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I think the last few games has picked up my expectations a little bit. I think we've not had the best start of the season, but I think we're starting to come good now. I think it really could go either way. Even as a Rangers fan, I'm looking over and a wee bit of jealousy at Furuhashi. He's seems to be absolutely brilliant, and I'm not one of these people where I don't want one team to be doing all the time. I want the best for our country, and I want a competitive league this year again, because it just makes it all the sweeter when the cup ends up in your pocket.
I think, David, because Rangers haven't been favourites for a very, very long time, it's unfamiliar, territory for Rangers, I feel. Because now it's okay winning the league. They did very, very well. But can they retain the lead? So they'll feel a little bit of that pressure. And as I said, Celtic will be probably more than happy not being favourites, because they have carried the can. They're the ones that's always had the pressure to go and win, because they were on such a great run, obviously, previously to last season. So I don't think it will concern Celtic too much by not being favourites. And by being favourites, I think that might just add that little bit of pressure with no away fans there as well onto Rangers. Oh, we're talking about 3 games in, by the way.
Yeah.
Look, both teams have lost a league game this season.
Yeah.
We always say that these particular games are not necessarily where the league ends up going anyway. They're big games to win.
Are you saying it doesn't matter, John?
No, but the derby games, of course, they're big games to win. Yes, supporters absolutely love winning these particular games, but they very seldom decide where the title goes.
Tell Alexa to launch Go Radio or listen on the Go Radio app.